back to my channel. If you guys are new, my name is LORENAAGUIRRE and I post here on my YouTube every Monday and Saturday, so please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. So today we are going to be doing my lovely client's nails. It has been about 3 weeks since she has been in. We did end up removing her last Gelx set and we're getting ready to put on a new one. So what we are going to go ahead and do is actually just prep her nails. So before her appointment, I did end up talking to her, and she is deciding after this set to maybe get one more set done and then from there on do some gel. So she was talking about letting them grow and whatnot. So with that being said, I do want her nails to grow out a little bit underneath, and we are going to leave them long, and I am just going to go ahead and shape them so there is no rough edges underneath her nail. And I am just going to go ahead and do that with my sanding band, and the sanding band that I am using is a fine sanding band. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and get this very, very small cuticle bit, and this is just going to go ahead and remove any of the cuticle that is stuck to the nail beds and everything like that. You guys already know this is one of my favorites. You could use this if you're prepping for acrylic, gel, any nail enhancement. This is a good drill bit to have just because it does take off all that dead skin that clings to the nail bed, and you really want that off of the nail beds just because you don't want there to be any premature lifting. Usually my clients, they'll go anywhere from 2 weeks if they're really picky with their nails, and all the way up to 6 to 8 weeks depending. I don't recommend going 8 weeks just because that is a lot of unbalancing for the nails, and so when that happens, sometimes the nail, it will be able to break easier just because it's like all that pressure is put on the middle to the end of your nail. So definitely don't recommend doing that, but I mean, some clients, I do feel like they try to push their nails a little bit more just because of saving money and things like that. And I get it, just because this is kind of a pricey luxury to have, especially if you are someone who wants to come and get them done and have them look nice. But definitely keep that in mind if you are going that long with your nails. Now I'm just going to go ahead and file the nails and making sure that they are nice and smooth across and just giving them a little bit more of a shape to them, just because I didn't want there to be any roughness towards the edge. I did end up taking a majority of it off with the e-file, but I just want to make sure that they do just have a really, really nice pretty curve to them. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and dust that off to make sure that is up and out of the way. And now I'm going to go ahead and prime, and then if I feel like there's some cuticles that I could actually go ahead and nip and just be nitpicky, this is the time that I usually do that, just so then I am able to get that up and out of the way and the nails could be looking as nice as possible. And then I'm going to go ahead and dehydrate twice and prime twice. The dehydrator I am using is OPI. And then the primer of my choice is Young Nails. Young Nails has been my go-to for years now. I do want to kind of look for some new primers just to try different things out, but it's almost like one of those things, if it's not broke, why fix it? And this has been working for me for years. Even if you are somebody who's not on point with prep, or you're still learning how to prep and things like that, I highly recommend trying out Young Nails primer, just because I do feel like that actually made a big difference from before I used this and then now using it now. And I'm going to go ahead and do 2 coats. Sometimes I do get a little confused if I ended up putting 2 coats on, so I do sometimes end up actually accidentally adding a third, but you don't need it. So I'm not sure in this video if I did actually do that, just because sometimes with my client I do end up getting to talking and things like that. But now I'm going to go ahead and get my Extend Gel, and I'm going to go ahead and apply this to her nails. And so we already went and sized and prepped each of her tips, and then I'm going to go ahead and apply them down and stick them down, and then making sure that light just cures them. And the Extend Gel, it works pretty fast. It's not something that you had to sit for a very long time. So that is something great when it comes to the Extend Gel, just because it does work fast. But something I do want to let you guys know is, if you guys are new to Gelx, that it does have a heat spike. What a heat spike is it ends up being a spike of heat that happens with the product when it is curing because of the chemical reactions. So that is completely normal with this product. I know some people, they are a lot more sensitive to it than other people, so just keep that in mind. Usually, if my clients are real sensitive to it, I try to wave them in front of the lamp and then kind of just go from there. I like to do usually 5 seconds intervals and see if that helps. And sometimes I like to work from as far as I am and then kind of move it closer. This client in particular, I don't feel like she is sensitive to the heat spike at all, so it does not bother her whatsoever. Sometimes even after doing this step and applying all the tips, even when you put them into the larger light to cure them for the whole 60 seconds, I still recommend doing 5-second intervals of curing, just because if you end up doing a full 60 cure or 60-second cure, sometimes what will happen is you'll still be able to feel that, especially if you are working with Gelx tips that they do have an higher apex. If they are the sculpted ones, you'll be able to feel that heat spike a lot more. What these ones are a natural medium square. So with these ones, she didn't really even feel that with these ones as much. But again, something that I do want to mention is, if their nails are on the thinner side, they are going to be even more sensitive to it, just because their nails are on the thinner side. I know some people will say that they will do a couple coats of Extend Gel to avoid that heat spike, but in all honesty, I do feel like you're able to do it instead of having to apply that many coats. Just applying it and doing it that 5 seconds, I do feel like that helps tremendously. And after I'm done with this one, I'm going to go ahead and pull my light and put it on the desk, and then I am going to go ahead and put her in there for 60 seconds. She is able to do the 60 seconds, but again, not everybody can handle the 60 seconds right away, so just keep that in mind. And I do tell them when they are getting their nails done, if you feel the heat spike and it hurts, you are more than welcome to pull it out. It is not going to mess up anything when it comes to the curing, because I know some people, they are kind of worried about that when it comes down to it, just because sometimes with some gels, they shrivel or they don't end up curing right if you pull them out midway. But this one in particular, you don't have to worry about if you are using the Appraise Extend Gel. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and start with my filing. I am using an 80/80 grit. You could use something softer than this. This soft gel, it doesn't require a very, very coarse grit, but I just love a nice crisp nail. Sometimes I will use a smaller file depending on what I am doing, but because I am doing a square nail and I want the shape to be like on point, I will use this 80/80 grit. Um, Sometimes I do tend to use my little mini files just to save me a little bit of money when I am doing nails, and I do feel like that actually helps where it's like I don't end up using such an or a more expensive file for very minimal filing. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and just start filing the tip. You don't want to over file the tips because you don't want to end up weakening them, but I'm just going to go ahead and take this 5-in-1 bit, and I am just going to go around the cuticles, and if the gel somehow got on her cuticle, I'm just going to go ahead and pull her skin back a tiny bit just to let that gel loose from the skin, so it helps me not end up filing her skin. I am just getting the tip and I am blending it into her natural nail. And this is something I do want to mention to be very, very careful just because you don't want to end up filing into their natural nail when you do this. So be very, very light-handed and just be very careful just because when you are working with a bit like this, since you're so close to the cuticle, you have more of a chance of cutting them. I don't want to scare you from not using the e-file, but I do want to make sure that you guys are aware and you guys are being very careful when you guys are doing people's nails and whatnot. I feel like it's definitely recommend on taking an e-file class. There is many, many, many great artists out there that they do offer an e-file class, and they show you the proper ways of using it and different ways to be very, very safe with the e-file. Alright, I went ahead and dusted her hands off, and I ended up getting my little drill bit so I am able to kind of just get all of that dust up and out of her cuticle area. And then if there is any cuticles that I need to nip, I'm just going to go ahead and touch those up right now before polishing, just because if you do it while you're polishing, sometimes that dead skin will end up actually ending up on the polish and ends up being kind of a pain in the butt. I was even risking it right here when I was doing it, but thankfully it did not get all up in her gel polish, which was something I was grateful for. But I am just using this Nail Addicts gel, and this is See and Swing from Nail Addicts. And I'm just going to go ahead and apply 2 coats of this. And you guys, this is such a shiny, really, really pretty color. It is something that's more on the translucent side, so definitely keep that in mind. But I love this color. If you guys are trying to mimic the color of colored acrylic, I highly recommend checking this color out just because I do feel like you guys would love it, and it gives that acrylic kind of vibe. And you guys might be wondering why I'm only applying to like 2 to 3 nails at a time. It is because I had learned this off of Fabi's live. Fabi's Nails, she had did a live on TikTok where she was actually telling why she does that for her clients, and it is just to keep the shape, just because the shape does end up tending to move when you are working on more than one nail or more than a few nails at a time. So I did want to go ahead and try this to see if this helped me keep my shape. So I went ahead and applied the other 2 nails, and honestly I feel like with myself I didn't really realize too much of a difference. I'm sure it does make a small difference, but I mean, if you guys are struggling with shape, I do recommend trying it out and seeing if this is something that works for you. But usually after I'm done applying a coat to all the nails, I like to actually go in and wipe the sides of all the nails and get rid of any of that product that might be on the sides of the nails, making it lose its shape. Especially if you end up spending all that time filing and doing all that jazz, you don't want to end up having all that time being wasted by your gel polish and making your nails looking more on the rounder side. Alright, I went ahead and applied another coat of that, and every time I put them into the light, I did end up going for 60 seconds just to ensure that they were all nice and cured. And if you are using a KIARASKY lamp, I highly recommend having your clients tilt their thumb or angle it to where that light is hitting it completely, just because with the KIARASKY lamp, I do feel like it's not a 360 lamp, so it's not going to get that thumb, and I feel like some clients, they tend to kind of leave their thumb out without the light shining on it. And yeah, you don't want any of that. So that is one of my biggest tips. If you guys are using this light and you guys are having problems curing your gel, definitely recommend telling your clients to angle their thumb towards that light, and it will fix your problem. And so now I'm going to go ahead and go in with this amazing top coat. This is from Colorland Gels. This is the bomb. If you guys want to see how her nails looked, I used the same exact gel the last time she had came in and then now. And oh my gosh, you guys, her nails, I wish I would have a video or a picture of them so I could show you guys. They looked beautiful, but definitely make sure to follow me on Instagram just because you will be able to see her before, during, and after photos. So definitely recommend checking that out because you'll see how glossy this top coat stays. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and get my resin from Montage Nail Supplies, and I am just going to go ahead and apply some stones on here. I know I did a horrible job at being able to show you guys, but I did want to go ahead and still insert it just so I could kind of talk about the product a little bit of what I'm using. So I am using the resin. The resin, honestly, you guys, I know a lot of people, they say use the Mia Secret Activator, but in all honesty, I had used that for a while, and I do feel like that ended up making my stones come off a lot sooner. So the spray that I do recommend using is a spray glue. I mean, I'll go ahead and link it down below for you guys, just because I don't know exactly the name off of the top of my head. Sorry, you guys. I am currently in the parking lot of the hospital. I am waiting for my sister to get out, and currently it is 11 o'clock at night, and I just want to use my time wisely right now due to COVID. I am unable to be in there with her right now, so I'm just waiting in the parking lot to make sure that everything is okay with her, so hopefully everything is all good, but hence why my words are not coming out the way I'd like. But yes, you guys could see the difference. And something that I do want to mention with these stones is actually that I I like to spray them with that spray dry glue, and that stuff is the bomb. And then I like to go around it with a no wipe top coat or something like this. Since I did end up using a larger stone, as you guys will see at the end of the video, I actually like to go around with something that is on the thicker side, like this product right here, and this is from Gelx. I know they say that this is actually a nail glue, but I had a horrible experience with it where it did not end up having my clients' stones end up lasting. So this method that I'm doing right here ensures that their nails last a very, very long time. And they don't have to worry about the stones coming off and all that jazz, just because I do feel like stones, some people, they expect them to come off, but I want them to basically be able to enjoy them until they come back. I'd rather be the one to take them off than them to fall off on their own. I went ahead and left this clip in here just because I did want to show you guys how I do my videos and kind of a little behind the scenes. I know my picture isn't too clear, but I promise I am trying to work on it. I do like to do several different hand poses and different videos with each hand pose. Sometimes I will kind of forget the hand pose, and I will kind of like show them how to put them, and then I will adjust them. My clients usually, they don't mind. I know I always like do like a whole photo op, but I think a lot of my clients are probably used to the way I work, but I know sometimes if they are in a rush, they will mention that to me, and then we'll take a few fast snaps of them, or if they're in a super rush, usually I'll tell them like, send me a picture. But
Yeah, you guys, I hope you guys really enjoyed today's video. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. And if you guys need help with anything, make sure to comment down below and let me know some videos that you guys would like to see. Alright, guys, have a great day and bye-bye.